so far. Tires spin as the smoke kicks up. Racing hard, we won't give up. Speed and fight through the night, hitting curves under Christmas lights. The track is long, but the end is near. In the rear view, there's no fear. On the track, we feel alive. Christmas racing, we will thrive. Dutch engines roaring, ready to ignite. In the still of Christmas Eve, we race through snow, chasing dreams we believe. Engines rumble under the stars. Winter's cold, but we've come so far. Tires spin as the snow kicks up. Racing hard, we won't give up. Speed and fire through the night, hitting curves under Christmas lights. The track is long, but the end is near. In the rear view, there's no fear. On the track we feel alive. Christmas racing, we will thrive. Dutch United, we take the lead. In this season we chase the speed. Fast and fierce, we own the snow. Together strong, we let it go. The race is ours, this night is ours. We're shining bright like Christmas stars. Wind is howling, but we push on. Through the frost, we're never gone. One more lap, the stakes are high. Feel the rush beneath the sky. The cold can't break us, we are free. Racing through this Christmas sea. Victory calls, it's loud and clear. The Dutch United time is here. On the track we feel alive. Christmas racing, we will thrive. Dutch United, we take the lead. In this season we chase the speed. Fast and fierce, we own the snow. Together strong, we let it go. The race is ours, this night is ours. We're shining bright like Christmas stars. The finish line is drawing near, but in this moment we have no fear. Through the ice we carve our way, racing faster with each holiday.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second to last race here of the season in our first ACC season. We're here with 13 drivers today. We have a 1-hour race here starting off at Misano pretty soon. And once again, we have Wojciechowski at the top, followed by Knudsen and Schau as our top three. And we're going to be good to go. I'm excited for this week. Misano is a track that you don't get to see every day. It's a track that is a little bit less popular among the masses in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and Wojciechowski is away well. Dennis Knudsen holds on to P2. Schau has a nice angle coming into P3, but he's gone very wide, which means that it's immediately a couple drivers moving up. Holm is now in P3 over Schau. Minderhout still holding on nicely. Van Dorsten's lost 2 positions. Jesper Verringston has moved up a place and is trying to challenge here whenever he can. Minderhout and Schau still battling side by side. It's going to be the Lexus coming up in front. And if Jesper Verringston coming in right behind, we're here with the Helicam. Things have settled down. It is the Porsche driver still in the lead right now, but we're going to go too wide into the corner. Mustang's going to take that position back. And it's Minderhout moving back up to P4. A little bit of contact there between the Ferrari of Jesper Verringston. And I believe that was Gunvald, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. And everyone survived here with first half lap by the looks of it, which is good to see. It's Tilsander who's lost a couple positions here, I believe. I don't think he started in last. No, he started P9. He's down to P13. He's got a little bit of a comeback to go, but you know, last time he had quite a bit of pace there, so that helped out massively here. And now it's then Gunvald trying to catch up to Jesper Verringston. They probably know each other, being both from Denmark. But let's see who's got it into them. And now, obviously, I know Jesper Verringston from 2 other leagues, so I've seen a thing or two about him here. We see one of the Lexus going into the pits immediately. I believe that is Schau, who's immediately gone for the pit here. And indeed, it is Schau, so he's going to lose out on all these positions. But maybe he's got something in mind here. Now, I don't think you're going to make it if you go full fuel here. So he must have picked up some damage somewhere along the lap here. And, well, it looks like Gunvald's going to stay out and try and chase. Well, the positive thing is here, Schau has a P13 coming up with very much clean air. So we should be able to get some pretty rapid lap times in. It's the 2 Mustangs here trying to battle for P3. Dan Holm currently leading over Kevin Minderhout. Was going to see if there's an opportunity to dive down the inside, but Holm covers it for now. And I don't think his exit has been compromised a little bit. We're going to see that the driver behind him, Kevin Minderhout, goes a little bit too wide into the corner, and that might be something that he's going to regret a little bit later on. No, he should be fine for now, but sure, it will be looked at by the stewards here, because obviously he did go off track limits a little bit here, and I don't know whether he gained or lost an advantage, as Ilzander's already gained up 2 positions, one through the pit stop, of course, and Rail has also been overtaken here. Is now trying to chase in his BMW. Dan Holm and Kevin Minderhout still going at it here, but it seems like there's a little bit of a gap here. Holm just needs to nail his lines and make sure that driver behind gets as little slipstream as he possibly could here. Coming into the final corner here, it's a decent exit though with the driver behind, and he's definitely close enough to get that slipstream. That's going to lunge him forward, but is he able to go and catapult off that? I am not so sure. Not at least into turn 1. He's got to be a little bit patient here. The Dutchman will keep at it, however. It's a close battle between the two so far. And still looking for an opportunity to go side by side, maybe around the outside, or try and force the driver ahead of him to take a different line and compromise his exit speed. But so far, Dan almost doing a massive job of driving the lines that he needs to defend his position. Sure, compromise his exits a little bit, but it seems to be fine for now. And now, Minderhout also knows it's a little bit too early. He tried to go for a move that did not work. They both stay all just about outside the track limits, actually, for Kevin Minderhout there, but it's all pretty minor. He's made it across, and that's what matters most. So they could be pretty satisfied with how this is looking right now. It's just about the start, of course. Kevin Minderhout will try and see if he could get close and stay close. Dan Holm, the driver who swapped to us, just wondering for a second where the driver had gone, but we swapped POVs. And, well, it's just we're still trying to defend this line. Kevin's lost that connection a little bit here, but the exit through these final couple corners here is going to be so important for Dan Holm if he wants to maintain that position, if he wants to maintain that pace even. And so far, so good, I must say. It's always a messy start here at the Dutch United Racing League. I was just wondering what I was trying to say there. But yeah, this time though, the driving standards seem to be a lot better. And that's going to help quite a little bit here to get us started. And it is about 55 minutes left to go here. And we'll see what else could be brought to us here. But so far, all's looking good. This is Daniel Moki we're aboard with. He is in P7 right now, so smack dab in the middle, essentially. We'll be very happy with how this is looking right now. He's being chased by Daniel van Dorsten. Trying to see if he could catch up here. Find it difficult to see that. Last time around, of course, we did see that it could have very much gone another way here. This is just what it stands on right now. Daniel Homoki in P7. And I don't know whether we're going to be seeing a follow-up into this pretty soon. But so far, Daniel Homoki seems to be doing all right. He's currently, by the looks of it, a small break here. We'll see what else can come of it, though. Kevin Minderhout still chasing. Both cars at least shouldn't have picked up any damage, so that's going to help massively right there. Trying to keep things clean. And now, oh wow, actually look at that. I didn't even see that. Look at the times of our fastest drivers. They're completely equal. We have 1:35.402 for both Wojciechowski and Knudsen. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's quite the statistic right there. Kevin Minderhout still going at it. Unable to catch up, but at least he's safe from Jesper Verring, so he doesn't have the pace. Dan Holm here trying to defend down the inside. He's been doing a good job defending so far. And Molnar seems to have gone off. Had a little bit of a moment. I don't know exactly what happened, but he's lost time. He's lost 2 positions as a result. He's driving back up again, though. So on the straight, I'm not sure if we can get a replay of that. If so, we'll probably get that shown. But had a small moment losing him 2 positions, but he is able to continue his way, which is just that more important, right? So far so good. And let's see what else we could be seeing here. Long way to go. We know that. But I'm sure that's always going to be okay. This is Artem Molnar we're aboard with. He had that moment, of course, a little bit earlier on. He's now chasing Voigt. Could be alright. Let's see what's going to happen then all the way through this. Currently, it is just a little bit over 50 minutes on the clock. So the first 10 minutes have gone by rather quickly. Still going at it whenever they can. We have a replay coming up here. Of the beginning of the race. It's a little bit of a racing incident, but we're going to have a look. And, oh, coming up just a second here. Look at that beautiful replay. All right, that's what happened here. Free wide into the corner. A little bit of contact being made, and it's the McLaren that spun around. So I was just saying how clean it was, and that's what's cost Zelda a little bit of time here. Able to continue his way all the way, luckily. Helmoki so far solid. It's a good looking livery, I gotta say. And Kevin Minnaert always gone a little bit wide. A shame. That's what happens. Minnaert still going at it. Kevin Minnaert here. Going at it again. I mean, he's trying to see if he could maybe close down that gap here. Kevin Minnaert just needs to try and pick up the pace here. Obviously, that mistake has cost him. He's half a second away. Trying to get back into the slipstream. Tomichi Shao here in P12. Obviously, trying to make a little bit of a comeback drive happen. Long way to go. I guess we'll see what that brings. He's trying to get close to Voigt here in the BMW, trying to dive down Yusa very aggressively, and there's contact being made. I mean, that was a move that was never on. Unfortunately for him, because that had the potential, but sketchy stuff here. In the end, we do get that kind of awkward battle here. We have another replay coming up pretty soon. Curious to see what that has brought us here. There it is. Yeah, it's a very, very late move, and there's no way that you can expect that. You're already steering in, and then there's just that. So, shame really. Michishia wanted to have that and give it a go, but it hasn't worked out. And before you know it, well, things seem to have settled a little bit here. That's good to see. Obviously, it's still a very long race to go here. 46 minutes. Tomichi Shao currently in last position again here, trying to get by the... what do you call it again? By the back markers here. A long way to go. Jesper Verringsten still just on clean laps right now. Don't know what they're going to be bringing in, but so far so good it seems. And for us, it's just a matter of seeing where this goes at the end of the day. For Verringsten so far has all the good laps coming in, which are absolutely necessary. But yeah, it just lacks a little bit of pace. Here we see Rail has been overtaken by Shao now in the background, so making progress by the looks of it. very important there. Just got to see what else can come off it here. We continue our way through here. This Artur Molnar still holding on strongly here. I'm sure that whenever the opportunity is there, he's going to take it. But at the moment, we're just waiting for that. This is him. We have 12 drivers still going strongly, so we have seen a disconnect, unfortunately. Don't know who it is exactly, but I'm sure that would be... Oh, Moki was left? No, he's still hanging on in P6 by the looks of it, so it isn't him. Not gonna lie, that caught me off guard a little bit. Unsure as to who else it could have been, but I'm still trying to figure that one out here. I'm sure we'll get a follow-up on that in a later moment. This is Dan Holm now trying to catch up to driver ahead of him. Minderhouse just overtaken him. Opportunities are most definitely there, and it's just going to be a matter of time here before we'll actually try and fight and overtake each other again. There's slipstream, luckily here for Dan Holm. That is going to help out a lot here. Obviously, we're still not there yet, so we'll be continuing just journey here. Long way to go. I'm sure that all the drivers here know this. We'll see a pit stop's also planned for the majority of drivers. It's going to be interesting to see what Minderhout and Holm can do here. That to me right now is the biggest question mark, really. Obviously, just how do you deal with the drivers coming in? How are you going to get your strategy? And we see Gunvald on a drive-through. I'm not sure if that's added through the stewards manually, but I don't think it is. But yeah, it's rough. It's definitely been one of those races here where anything can happen, and I think for now the most important part is just keeping your head cool. Knudsen's in the lead by a big margin at the moment. I think it's safe to say that that was what we expected to begin with. Currently no follow-ups have been made here by any of the drivers, so I'm sure we'll get that opportunity a little bit later on. So for now though, we just need to wait and see what this will bring here. Daniel van Dorsten we're aboard with right now in the Porsche. Gunvald's trying to serve his drive-through penalty immediately, and that's gonna help him out a fair bit here. Trying to push all the way through. Let's see the moves being made just yet here. I'm sure they'll come around here a little bit later on, and we just gotta see how that goes. Daniel van Dorsten, P6 for now. Just need to focus on the lap times here. Obviously also representing the league that we have. You know, the DUR GT Racing livery out there. Good to see. We'll see everyone's free to update and download their own liveries if they want to, so some drivers have taken the opportunity to get creative, which I always like seeing. So far the race has been totally okay, and we just gotta wait to figure out how the rest of it will go. But so far, so good here in the beautiful Italian seaside. One of my friends actually visited this circuit fairly recently. I don't remember the race that he went for, but it's quite nice. You can literally just walk over to the beach just like you can in Zandvoort, for example, which I very much enjoy seeing myself. We have a penalty coming up for Xiao. That was the dive bomb that we saw earlier. It's going to be a 5-second penalty coming through. And that is not the end of the world, obviously. But still, though, painful realization, because that definitely wasn't necessary. At least that's the way that I look at it here. Definitely could have been avoided easily, and all would have been okay. But yeah, that's what happens. That's racing sometimes, and just gotta make sure you keep your head down. This is Dan Gunvald. We're aboard with P8, so that penalty behind is going to come in nicely to just give him a little bit more buffer in case needed here. The gap is currently 3 seconds, but that's going to be expanded a little bit later on, of course. So with that 5-second penalty coming up, don't think there's another alternative for it here. And Gunvald coming up nicely. You also saw the small promotion here made for me. My name is Ricky from RDC Broadcasting. Very good to be here, back behind the mic again. Whenever I have the time and whenever I have the opportunity to do so, I always make sure to enjoy it. And so far, I most definitely have, I must admit. It's been an eventful season here. Lots of ups and downs. Drive-through for Daniel van Dorsten. I believe that was also an automatically handed out penalty. At least I haven't heard anything about it, and that's just been confirmed by the little man in my ear. So thank you very much for that. And now, just gotta wait, see what happens. A long way to go still. And you know, it makes me wonder too what the plans are here. It's a very long race still, obviously more than half the time still left. Altamont are holding on strongly. Actually, I'm also wondering if we have an idea of the driver was disconnected, because I still don't, unfortunately. That was a little bit hard to say. There's quite a few drivers out there on the grid, and every time that you look at them, you know, something might have happened in the meanwhile. So far, so good here. It is a couple penalties being handed out. Holmes also come into the pit here to serve a pit stop, most likely just to refuel. He's free to take, if he wants to, some tires, but that's obviously going to be more time added. And I don't really see a reason as to why you would do that right now, because his lap times, they seem totally okay. So, judging of that here, everything's going to be totally alright. But only time will tell, of course. Anyhow, Moki still in a solid P4. Would be looking to take some big points home here. And if he'll have that opportunity, of course, try and take it. A long way to go here still in this race. So things will have to be looked at with a grain of salt here. Xiao still obviously yet to serve his penalty. A little bit unfortunate for him that he needs to do so still. But yeah, that's what happens if you go for a little bit of a risky move, and the stewards clearly didn't like it. I think rightfully so. Now the gaps have built up a little bit here. The smallest gap currently is between Xiao and Holm, but Xiao still has that penalty, so Holm is technically ahead anyways. And they know this too, so I'm sure they'll have a look, and I'm sure that they'll try and figure something out if they have the opportunity to. For now, though, I think it is just a matter of regaining your breath here if you can. Just trying to work with whatever little resources you actually have available here for your team. It's obviously one of those races where you are alone, and it's very different to a, let's say, 4-hour two-man endurance race or something along those lines. It doesn't really add up to the experience. It's very much different. What else is there to do here? I've been thinking just about a plan here. Obviously, Dan Gunvald is going to be feeling that pressure from behind. Even though Xiao has that penalty, you still want to try and see if you could, you know, avoid that for a long time, ideally, to just make it a little bit easier for yourself. Not sure if that will be possible or allowed for that matter. I mean, he's free to defend in any case if he wants or needs to. But it's going to be just about making sure that you have the right opportunity to do your pit stop too. And that's where we're going to see a split tactic coming in here. Drivers going at it strongest way they can. We do see indeed some position swaps here. Molnar van Dorsten go ahead of Gunvald, who's currently in the pits. That's obviously a fair way of looking at it. But yeah, this is the time where it all kind of becomes a big blur. At least to me, it always does. You're trying to figure out just where your drivers are going with this. With the pit stop strategies varying a little bit here. Some people might just try and drive to the end and do a little bit of a splash and dash. Some drivers are going to try and go for it in the middle. Both of them have their strengths and weaknesses, of course. So opportunities galore. You just got to make sure you time them right. So curious to see what else is on the lookout here. Anything can still happen, and I'm sure that many things will still happen, in fact. Jesper van Ringston just enjoying a comfortable P3 right now. He's yet to come in. I mean, the majority of the drivers have at least consider going into the pits, but now Xiao is the driver furthest up there who's got himself a penalty, a pit served, although that was obviously to get rid of that. No, actually hasn't gotten rid of the penalty yet. Apologies me. This is still a battle that we have on track between Molnar and Van Dorsten. Van Dorsten, however, has pitted and Molnar hasn't so far, so not a completely fair comparison. But it will do for now. And Artur Molnar is just going to try and hold on, but he also knows that when he comes to serve a penalty, it's going to be hard to get rid of, or serve a pit stop, I mean, but yeah, you know, we're halfway through the race. It should shape up a little bit here. Knudsen's still got a comfortable lead. 15 seconds over the leader is quite significant, I must admit here. But yeah, that's the stuff that happens, of course, when you're doing races like these, right? And I must say Knudsen has just got the raw pace too. He's on a 37.237 as his fastest, as his last, but his fastest is actually a 34.945, which is quite the difference being made right there. So long way to go still, and plenty of surprises coming in here. Dennis Knudsen, I mean, this man has just been on another level. Don't lie. He's just been very solid. Daniel van Dorsten also coming into the pits now. Having a pit coming through on this race. Just gotta see what that does end up bringing to the table here a little bit later on. Everything's still possible, of course. Very much curious to see where this ends up going. So the race is still pretty short. Got a long way to go. And I think now you're already thinking about just, how is this going to end? Well, it's going to be consistent lap times. That's what you need right now. Gotta see if that opportunity arises here. I'm sure it will eventually. Right now it's just been radio silence here, really. I think a logical thing, judging by how things have gone so far. This is Jesper van Ringston, just still a solid P. Sorry, P. I was just trying to see what position he was actually in. But yeah, just a solid P3 for van Ringston right now. He's got plenty of opportunities to try and get the most out of this one. Not sure how he plans on doing so exactly, but I guess that will all become clear in a later moment here during the race. And yeah, so far very little mistakes being made by any of the drivers, really. I gotta say credits where it's due. This is so far looking like a very split upon race. Anything could happen. And yeah, Dan Gunvald, he's gonna be saying to himself, well, I wish I could have made more of this. 4 drivers in the pits right now. It's Amoki, Voigt, Molnar, and Rails, so they're all serving their penalties, which are needed right now. What have they got to bring? I wonder. I said before, a very long race. Artem Holnar now having served his penalties, finding himself, having served his pit stop, is currently in a decently comfortable position here. Now, sure, there's nothing to write home about just yet. It's P11, it's really not getting him anywhere, but with just the 2 fastest drivers now still needing to pit, it's rather optimistic to say he was fighting for a win to begin with. We're still going on strongly here. This is Tommy G. Xiao. Still got that penalty to serve. It might just be added into his total race time at the end of the day. Depending on his plans, of course. But so far, so good. We are more than halfway through the race. 25 minutes left to go here. And the gaps are at least a little bit better than they were last time. We do see now that Van Dorsten's going to go by Voigt to regain that position. That will help out just a little bit here when trying to just make the most out of your race at the moment. Yeah, long ways to go. Race so far has just been solid for plenty of drivers here. Yet to see any big changes in terms of positioning here that I at least wasn't expecting. You know, Knudsen still leading. Verrington moving up a little bit here is going to be rather satisfied with the outcome of this race, or at least the outcome of this race so far, judging just from how far he had to come. Now, sure, you know, he started up in P6 and he's just been solid. Van Dorsten going a little bit too wide in the corner there. That is not pretty, but it also isn't anything life-threatening, at least not yet. So all is okay for now. Everyone's still doing what they're supposed to do. So I think for me the biggest question mark right now is just how do you get yourself moving up a position like this, right? You want to make progress, but you just gotta nail consistent lap times all the way through to the end of the race. I think that's your only way of doing so, unfortunately, this time around. And that's just because the racing has just been this good, you know? And Dennis Knudsen now lapping a couple drivers. Don't worry, that's not actually for track position. So that obviously gives you a little bit of a perspective of how that goes. It wasn't anything serious there. So don't worry about that one for a second. Molnar's now marked as yellow. I'm not sure what happened to him. Has his data stopped working? I'm not so sure. It's a little bit of a weird one to me still. Well, at least we do know that he's still driving all right, and he seems to be regaining his position, but I still wonder what happened to him. All seems good for now, though. Daniel Homoki's still in P8. Doing what he does best, and that's currently consistency. Something that he's been working on a little bit by the looks of it, because he hasn't made any big mistakes this race so far, and wasn't planning on doing so. I think, you know, the drivers most happy with this are obviously gonna be, as you might have expected, both Minderhout as well as Knudsen, who's gonna just make sure to do well. I think from Ringston is a given at that point. So yeah, all is good, all is all right. And question is now, of course, whether drivers that are still racing are able to keep up with the faster drivers ahead of them. So, long way to go. Curiosity will eventually kill the cat, I think, though. Some drivers will start pushing a little bit further in. And we'll see what that brings to the end result right there. Because we're still going strongly here. Kevin Minderhout in P3. Decent consistency. Also the second fastest drivers to the speed trap that we have set up. Seems to have pace, so a little bit of a lag spike there, but luckily all is okay, which is the most important part. We continue our race here with just 20 minutes to go. It's very much a sprint race at this point. And we're going to find out what can happen here towards the end, where all these drivers that have been fighting so hard are looking to come for a conclusion to their race here. And you know, still, I think if you're one of the drivers right now and need a little bit of a push up here, I think the plan's pretty simple. Just gotta make sure you keep your lap times consistent and keep your drivers you're facing off as far away as you humanly can. And Jesper van Ringston, so far so good here. Falling back a little bit, of course, after his pit stop. Still though, having a solid race, you know, has moved up a position. Minderhout, of course, moving up to P2. Holm still chasing. Order basically unchanged, although Show's got that penalty, which means that Van Ringston should very much be in the ways to go through here, right? Obviously, we'll be pushing ahead just off the end of race time, the 5 seconds being added. But for Ringston in P5 was good for now. And Gunvald in P6. All is good for now. It is Dan Gunvald. Middle of the pack once again. I think a solid result for him, very consistent, but I see no big surprises here. Knudsen though has been solid till Zenders had a little bit of a moment, I think, because he just marked up in yellow for a little bit there. Well, I think he's still alright. He's being chased by the 65 of Amaki here, so he should be careful to not drop too much time. What else is going on here coming all the way through? I wonder. Just a little bit under 17 minutes to go. And Holm, you know, he obviously wants to contest with Winterhout, but he also knows there's no opportunity. Knudsen's come into the pits, but he's almost a minute clear, so I'm not expecting that move order to change very much. I don't think it's happening. Just gotta keep it up there and see what happens. And Artur Molnar P10 right now, or actually P11, excuse me. I don't know why he was showing it. Oh, it's because he's number 11, right? That messed me up. Can't lie. So, yeah, we're all doing okay. .15.5 minutes now left to go. So we're 3/4 through the race. It's been a solid one, I need to admit, for well, basically the majority of it. No, it's been one of those races where anything could happen. It's just all been totally fine. What else is there to bring? Currently, not much per se. Monkey here trying to challenge across the number 30. They're side by side right now. That might be the most exciting battle we've seen in a long while. Indeed, well, still side by side here. All is okay. Monkey's gone by Zeldor and it's already created half a gap. So impressive stuff. Yeah, so far all is okay. Now, the question, of course, arises whether anything's going to change. Judging by how far the drivers are ahead, we do see that Knudsen's running himself into lap traffic yet again. However, Minderhout is still so far behind. Obviously, they're not going to fight him very much. For 16 seconds, and now, of course, him still needing to pass the back markers too. Don't think much else is going to happen, but we just got to find it out here. Daniel van Dorsten also looking to just improve in his position, but it's too far gone as it stands right now. I saw the driver number 30 coming into the pits for a second. I think that was a glitch on the HUD actually, because he is now driving again. Dennis Knudsen, P6. Yeah, all is good. No big surprises there. You know, he's just been solid all around. He's passed the back marker. Sure, he's still coming up to rail, who's also not going to be actively defending, but that's all right, though. But yeah, all is good. Some things still very challenging, but all is okay. Dennis Knudsen, however, P1 for now. Looking to go at it. It all seems to be going okay. Kevin Minderhout can only do one thing, and that's follow along. We have the number 15 car going off there. That is Van Dorsten. He's had a little bit of a moment here. Unsure as to what happened, but he appears to be standing still. Just waiting for the drivers that are faster than him to go past him. And actually, has he just teleported back to the pits? He might have. Yeah, he's back in the pits now. Van Dorsten might just be out of this race, ladies and gentlemen. This late in. Made a mistake as he hit the wall hard. I'm not so sure. Whether we're going to be seeing him out again, I don't know if we can get a replay of that. If we can, that would be very nice. And also, once again, the reminder, I'm streaming today. Make sure to follow me. My RDC Broadcasting tag is what I use on Instagram. And also Twitter, or X if you want to call it that. Check that out. It is Kevin Minderhout going at it again. Okay, so Van Dorsten is now in the pits in last position. And he is not looking to come back out anytime soon, by the looks of it. Then Gunvald. Anything he can. A little bit sketchy. Yeah, and he has retired from the race officially now. A little bit of contact there between Gunvald and the driver behind. Yeah, obviously different braking markers just based off confidence alone. But it all seems to be okay at the end of the day. Luckily for him. Now with just a little bit over 10 minutes remaining, chances of Minderhout catching up are becoming slighter and slighter. Gotta be honest here. Chances are just not looking so good. Martin Molnar looking to go at it the most. Whenever he has the opportunity to, he will try and take it, of course. Yeah, all seems all right. And it's going to be just consistency from him. But that means we have 11 drivers finishing this race, only 2 retirements. So Van Dorsten's being the first of that. And I know there's a second one in there, but I forgot his name. Gotta be honest here. But oh well. Dutch is live. 10-minute mark is what we're about to cross as Alter Monarch's gonna go across the line here. Now to give you some perspective on how the lap times are looking, Knudsen is still fastest overall, the only driver to hit a 134. I mean, doesn't have that consistency, and Knudsen still trying to expand that lead a little bit here. Sure, it's less than a second per lap, but it just shows that, you know, he has been incredibly dominant all the way through here. So that's how that is. Dan Holm trying to go at it again whenever he has the opportunity. E3 is what it's standing on right now. And I think a podium would be well deserved here for Dan Holm. Sure, maybe not the most spectacular race. I gotta give it that, but I think you'll take it at this point, really. 906 is most certainly also a great place for him to be. Something that he could be very happy with, I think. So yeah, that might just be the end of the race in terms of overtakes and such. Gaps are quite big. I mean, the closest gap that I can find right now is just shy of 3 seconds, and that's this driver, Tommy G. Xiao, 3 seconds behind Dan Holm, but he's got a 5-second penalty to serve. So actually, he isn't even safe from Jesper van Ringsen, who was 4.5 seconds behind him. So yeah, that might actually be something that is worth pushing for Van Ringsen. He might just get a P3 away here. Yeah, we gotta see it. I guess we will eventually. Tommy G. Xiao here pushing the limits of his Lexus. The oldest standing GT3 car that's still being driven. Most cars have gotten an Evo version by now, but that might soon change as Toyota is bringing out the Toyota GR GT3. And that would actually be a car that we won't be getting in this game, because this game is no longer receiving any content updates, unfortunately. However, that doesn't really seem to matter that much here. It's still cool to see, of course, that they're working on those kind of cars. And what else is there to do here? Gotta find that out if we can. Just, you know, 7 minutes here to spare. And the race is about to come to an end here. The gap is 6.7 seconds. So Xiao's doing a good job of extending that lead right now, which you need to not lose the position. I know we'll get to see that here. Time, of course, becoming less and less. So it's just a formality at this point, unless somebody's going to make up a massive mistake. But not expecting at least Dennis Knudsen to do so. He's been P1 since the beginning, essentially, and hasn't really dropped a beat. It's absolute dominance from him so far. This is Daniel Moki then. Trying to see what he can do. Long way to go. Now, actually, while we have some time, I might as well tell you guys a little bit of a story. I'm a big rally fan, if you guys didn't know that already, and today we had the first content update of Assetto Corsa Rally, and I'm not sure whether I'm disappointed or excited about the content, because they added a racetrack rather than a rally stage. It's an ice racetrack. Probably just to show off the physics a little bit, but I'd rather have they just added a one-stage rally event in the snow. I would have preferred that most definitely. However, the snow graphics and the snow physics also are both looking very impressive, with the car being very slidey, more so than gravel, but not in an unrealistic way. So I found that very exciting here. Obviously, see what they can do. Have a replay coming up between the number 40 and the number, I believe it was 69 of Voigt. That made a little bit of contact here. Let's see how that went down then. Late on the brakes, and I think just not expecting the BMW to, you know, go so fast on it. But oh well, happens. Well, there is again just a different POV. Yeah, it's a shame because the BMW is just a little bit slower and wasn't expecting him to get through at such a pace. Sure, you could argue he could have been a little bit more patient. I think he very much could have been if he wanted to. But still, it doesn't really matter too much for me. It happens at the end of the day. Kevin Minderhout not getting himself involved with traffic here, and that's sketchy there. Yeah, Kevin needs to try and get by as soon as possible. He's losing valuable time here. Although realistically, he isn't making it to the top step of the podium anyways. But, you know, you gotta keep your faith up and you gotta stay on it. The gap's has eventually expanded here to 20 minutes. So that is a little bit rough. Just trying to come in behind here. Anything's still possible at the end of the day. Kevin Minderhout trying to follow up his lines. This is Artem Monar we're aboard with. See if he's got anything up his sleeve right now with just 3 minutes left. I mean, the gap's ahead of him to Tilzendor is more than a minute at this point, so most likely he's not going anywhere. Still, the lap time of Knudsen hasn't been beat. He still hasn't beaten his own one either. But I think that was to be expected here with such little time left. And well, just the race kind of unfolding as it is. We have Gunvald on a little bit of a penalty there. Now Tuna, I'm still wondering as to why that is. That has been, I don't know if that's because of the contact there, but I'm sure that there's a logical explanation. Yeah, it is the contact with the 69 car that's just been confirmed. Yeah, sure, you could argue that's a little bit rough. You know, obviously the job of the BMW is to stick to his racing line. I think he did, but he was just slower than the driver expected. And obviously, it's always your responsibility to get by safely. I think that is justified, although maybe you could argue it's a little bit harsh here. But Gunvald getting that penalty by itself doesn't really mean much because the gap behind is a little bit over 13 seconds. So he's not going to be endangered because of it, as long as he keeps his foot down. And we are getting into that territory here where the last driver is about to cross the line with a little bit less than 140 to go, which means that we should be getting onto our final lap if he has a bad lap. But most likely he's going to chug out just one more with about 5 seconds on the clock. But we're going to find out there. Tommy G Shout, P4. Got to keep at it. What does this bring then? One can wonder. Tommy G Shout in P4 still got that penalty that will be added to his final race time. Which might shake up the field a little bit here, but I'm not expecting it to. Jesper van Ringston is, however, now getting closer to that point. He's a little bit over 5 seconds behind him, so that might actually turn up to be quite exciting to watch there towards the end. So yeah, he's got to nail his lap time still. Tommy G Sau. Just got to keep at it here. Final minutes of this race, however, have started, and I find it unlikely to see any changes in the score lines as they stand. Won't know for certain, however. And yeah, time basically completely up right now. Yeah, the time is up now. Knudsen, however, did get to start a... no, he didn't get to start a new lap, actually. So he's finished in P1. I was expecting him to do one more. Gunvald and Amoki are also finished then, P6 and P7 respectively. Minderhout finishing P2. And now we wait for Hom to come by. And Von Ringston is now within 5 seconds of TG Xiao. Means that if he keeps this up, he is actually going to move up to P4 because of that penalty. And so far, it looks like he's going to do it, though. We are aboard with Otter Molnar. Voigt and Rail have finished P10 and P11, respectively. Dorsten not making the finish. Oh, yeah, actually, Von Ringston gaining a lot of time. Big mistake by Xiao. He's going to finish, and right behind him is Von Ringston, so he's going to move up to P4 provisionally. Oh, no, that is such a shame. Von Ringston is going to steal that away from Xiao. But yeah, that's what happens. Tomichi Xiao making a little bit of a mistake. And that is what happens, right? So not much that you could do about it. Alter Monan's the only driver yet to finish this race. But Knudsen with a very, very dominant victory. So as we watch Artur Molnar cross the line, I think it is time to take a little bit of a break. And then after that break, we're going to be looking into the final standings one more time as soon as they have been finalized. So Artur Molnar is going to cross the line. And that will be his final position and P9 for the number 11 car. Everyone's finished now. And that will be the end of the race right there. So see you guys in just a moment here after a short little break. Right, and there it is. Time to look at the final standings there then, and that's how they are looking. So penalties have been applied here. It means that Knudsen's going to win the race still. No changes there. It is Minderhout in P2. Then we have Holm in P3. A solid race from him. Jesper Verringston's going to take P4 due to a 5-second penalty for Tommy Chi Xiao. A little bit of a shame, but that was to be expected. And that means that he's going to take P5, P6 for Gunvald. And we have Amoki, Tenzelder, Molnar, Voigt, Rail, Van Dorsten, and Wojciechowski, the driver who disconnected. I forgot about who it was, but indeed it was the Porsche of Wojciechowski. And then we have Typhoon, who I don't think he got out there on track at all in P14. So that is the final result as it stands. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. We have the season finale coming up on the 18th of January. So I hope to see you guys there. As for now, I wish you guys a very pleasant rest of your day. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.